What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode of Mom and Papa Joe. After last week's pork belly video, we had a couple of questions asking about sides, and I realized we have not focused any videos primarily on sides. So for the month of July, that is what we're going to do. We're going to show you some of our favorite sides, starting today with an awesome vinegar-based coleslaw. Let's get into it. Our primary ingredients for today, got a nice green cabbage, red cabbage, some mini sweet peppers, celery, and a yellow onion. If you happen to have Vidalia onions in your area, oh man, it makes this even better, but we do not. I'm going to be looking for about 7 cups of cabbage for this recipe. And you can slice this as wide as you want or as thin as you want. I like my cabbage a little thinner. If you're not willing to go through all this trouble, you can always buy shredded cabbage. This is pretty good right here. So I'm going to be working on about 7 cups of this between the 2 cabbages. 6 cups of this green cabbage, and then 1 cup of the red cabbage. I like the visual contrast. Folks, I wish I could tell you that this was my recipe, but it is not. A friend of mine, Kevin Knight, gave me this recipe some, 5-7 years ago. And he says that it was his mom's recipe. Where she got it from, I do not know. Any of these thicker pieces you can get out. Next, I'm going to thinly slice my celery. Then I'll come back and stem and core my mini peppers. And I'm going to use all 10 of these. I like to try to leave them a hole like this and slice them into rings. They break sometime, and if they do, it's not a problem. But I think they really look so pretty in this slaw when they're in rings. And I'll come back and just gently try to cut these into some thin rings. And like I said, if they break, it's not a problem. And then last thing we'll knock out is our onion. Nice and thin. All right, well, the hardest part of this recipe is finished, man. Getting those veggies prepared. We're going to create the marinade, so to speak, the sauce, whatever you want to call it, for this vinegar-based coleslaw. I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm using olive oil. You can use the oil of your choice. A 1/4 cup of white wine vinegar. 1/4 cup of white sugar. And folks, all these amounts you can adjust to your liking, to your taste, your preference. In here, I have got 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon each of crushed red pepper flakes, mustard seed, and black pepper. All these ingredients are going to be in the recipe in the description, folks, so don't worry about it. Everybody into the pool. We're going to warm this up on the stove just to ensure that the sugar melts, dissolves. Let's start putting things together while our marinade is heating up. 6 cups of the white cabbage and about 1 cup of the purple cabbage. To that, we're going to add 1 cup of thinly sliced yellow onion, 1 cup of thinly sliced celery, and those 10 thinly sliced ring sweet mini peppers. And we're going to give this a nice toss. Maybe I could have used a bigger bowl. So you just want to give that a nice mix. Oh, this smells great. That vinegar is just about choking me. So once you've got that, now you just want to come back and start pouring over it. It will not look like a lot, folks, but I guarantee you it's the perfect amount. Once you've done that, this warm liquid, you're going to toss, ensuring that everything is covered. Everybody has got a little bit of this delicious lotion on it. This is going to leach out a lot of liquid, folks, a lot of water, moisture from these veggies. So before serving, you're going to want to drain just a little bit, but we'll get to that in a few. Once you're satisfied that you've got everything nicely tossed, you can cover this with some plastic wrap, cling wrap, and refrigerate a couple of hours to overnight. This is ready to eat as we speak if you really like it crunchy. If you want it to soften up a little bit, cook a little bit, then give it an hour or two. It will not take very long. So we will come back shortly. I will say in about an hour and see how things have turned out. All right, folks, it's been an hour and a half. And this coleslaw has really cooked down already. Quite a bit of liquid on the bottom. I've been nibbling on this, and I'm here to tell you, folks, this is addictive. This is something that you want to sit down with a bowl of and just eat by itself. I mean, it's absolutely delicious. It's got a nice little bit of heat behind it, nice little sweet without being overly sweet. It's tart, it's tangy. If you're not a fan of a vinegar-based coleslaw, it's because you haven't had this one yet. We're going to do just a couple of quick sliders. I've got some of that pork belly from our last video, reheated. Oh, so rich and delicious. And it's going to be accompanied by this awesome coleslaw. And I'm going to have one. Mama's busy filming. So, folks, the hardest part of that is chopping up those veggies. Other than that, piece of cake. You're going to be addicted to that coleslaw. If you're a fan of mayonnaise based, it's because you have not tried this one yet. We really want to thank you guys and gals for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe's as usual. We absolutely appreciate it. Be on the lookout for another video coming very soon. In the meantime, we want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla.